مشاهدينا الكرام أهلا بكم.
Dear viewers, welcome to the interview on France 24. There's a lot of mystery surrounding the pandemic that's killing millions of people across the world, in light of questions about the efficacy of vaccines on the market, without forgetting that some suspect that a plot has been hatched against humanity. To shed light on the issue, today I'm welcoming Professor Anthony Fauci from Maryland, the world's foremost epidemiologist, to talk about this topic. Welcome, Doctor. I hope you accept from me the questions that might seem obvious to you, but as I am not a doctor, I would like to understand.
Very good.
You are amongst the first to be vaccinated. What was that like?
Yes, the experience was really rather benign. As in most vaccines, you get a very mild ache in the arm at the site where the vaccine needle went in. But after that, after 24 hours, there were no symptoms at all, and I was fine. I had nothing negative. It was perfectly fine.
Some people are afraid of possible side effects, and some are even questioning the vaccines. What would you say to them?
Well, we have a considerable experience in the trial. The Moderna trial was with 30,000 individuals. The Pfizer trial was with 44,000 individuals. There were no very severe side effects. The typical effects that you get are after the second dose, there's a degree of muscle ache, maybe a little bit of fatigue, possibly a fever, but that does not last any more than 24 hours. So the bottom line is that we have a good track record thus far. Some people have gotten allergic reactions. Out of the 5 million vaccines that have been administered thus far in the United States, there have been 21 allergic reactions, which means
So the 2 doses of the vaccine need to be taken within a specific period of time. What if a person catches the coronavirus before receiving the second dose?
Well, that could happen because although there is some protection against the first dose, if you want optimal protection, you've got to get both doses. So it is conceivable that you could get infected after the first dose, but unlikely.
What can you tell us about the mutated virus?
Well, there is a mutation that is circulating in the United Kingdom, in the UK, and another group of mutations that are circulating in the Republic of South Africa. It appears that it makes the virus more transmissible, namely, it spreads easier from person to person, but there does not seem to be any effect on the virulence of the virus, namely, it doesn't appear to make you any more sick or cause death anymore, but it does spread more readily.
Did the mutation happen in the labs?
In the labs, no, it happened outside in the circulation of the virus in the community.
Does it provoke the same symptoms as the first strain?
Yes, it doesn't make you any more sick. It just spreads a little bit more easily than the normal coronavirus.
How long does the immunity last after taking the vaccine?
It is unclear how long the immunity lasts. It lasts at least several months and maybe longer. The reason we don't know the answer to the question is that we've only been doing this for a relatively short period of time. But it's at least several months and hopefully much longer than that.
Does taking the vaccine really protect us from the coronavirus? And will it allow us to stop using masks?
No, it's important to continue to use the mask because although the vaccine protects you against clinical disease, it does not necessarily prevent you from getting infected without any symptoms. So it is conceivable that you might get infected but have no symptoms at all. That is one of the reasons why you want to wear a mask. Also, because there's a lot of virus out there in the community, and until most of the community gets vaccinated, it's important for everyone to continue to wear a mask.
What's the point of being vaccinated then if we have to keep wearing masks and be afraid of other people?
No, that you should not confuse that. You can protect yourself from clinical disease as well as serious disease. Wearing a mask is to help protect the rest of the community because it is possible that you are infected, you don't get sick, but you still have virus in your nasopharynx, which means you can spread it. So the purpose of wearing a mask is not only to protect you, but to protect other people.
Does the vaccine have an impact on a person's DNA, as some say?
No, it does not affect human DNA at all. That is a misperception and incorrect.
Can we get the vaccine if we have any symptoms?
No, if you are feeling ill, you should wait until you feel better before you take a vaccine. If you're in the middle of feeling ill, you should wait and take the vaccine when you feel normal.
Should we take a PCR test before vaccination?
No, it's not necessary to take a PCR test before vaccination.
If someone has already had the coronavirus, should he still get the vaccine?
Yes, if a person has been previously infected, you still should get vaccinated because you don't know how long the protection following infection lasts.
Is it possible to get vaccinated against the flu and COVID at the same time?
It would be preferable to administer it a little bit different, maybe a week or so apart, and not at exactly the same time.
Can pregnant women get the vaccine?
Yes, they can, but we have not done a clinical trial yet to prove that it's safe and effective. So you should consult with your family doctor to ask if it's prudent for you to do it. But the trials to determine safety and efficacy in pregnant women have not yet been done.
If a pregnant woman gets infected by COVID, does the fetus have it too?
No, not necessarily at all. Although there have been some bad effects of the virus in pregnant women, in general, there is not a grave concern about the baby.
What about people with chronic illnesses? Can they get the vaccine too?
Yes, people with chronic diseases should be vaccinated, particularly since the severity of the disease is worse in individuals who have some underlying conditions. So it's important for people with underlying conditions to take the vaccine.
Does the coronavirus vary from one country to another?
It generally is the same. There are some mutations in one place versus another, but in general, the viruses are the same from country to country. There's a mutation in the United Kingdom and in South Africa that's a bit different than others, but in general, the viruses are the same.
Does a person's physical makeup, like their blood type, make a difference to the disease's effects?
Well, there is a slight increase in susceptibility if you have a blood type O versus blood type A. Blood type A has a more likelihood to get the infection, whereas blood type O is less likely.
And do children transmit the infection?
Children can transmit the infection, maybe less so than adults, but they can transfer the infection.
Could the strength of the virus diminish over time?
Yes, it's conceivable that the strength of the virus will diminish, but we don't know that yet.
In your opinion, when will the coronavirus nightmare end?
Well, if people take the vaccine throughout the world and we get good uptake of the vaccine by the majority of people in the world, we could begin to get back to normal towards the end of 2021, like the third quarter, the fall of 2021.
I don't want to make you feel like you're being interrogated, but I have to ask the question that many are asking themselves. It's a bit of a personal one. What is the nature of your dispute with Donald Trump? And what is the nature of your relationship with Biden, who's asked you to join his team?
I will be joining the Biden team as soon as he is inaugurated on January 20th. My relationship with President Trump is good. It's a good relationship. We have some disagreements, but in general, it's a good relationship.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fauci, for accepting our invitation. And thank you all at home for watching. Stay tuned to France 24.